way, if you do want to become in relationship with someone else, you're able to express those wants, thoughts, feelings, likes, dislikes to the person. And if you can't describe those things to another person, how do you expect that person to give it to you?
Welcome back to another episode of JayTalk. I'm your host as always, Jalen Omega, and thank you all for tuning in to another episode. As you can see, I have another guest with me. It's time for another JayTalk collab. I'm gonna go ahead and let her introduce herself. This is one of my great friends, like my sister right here. So go ahead and let them know who you are.
My name is Alasia. Hello. My white friends call me Allie. If you see me, don't call me Allie though, because my name is Alasia. And Jalen and I have been friends since the 6th grade. He had a really big head, and he was getting referrals every week.
Yo, for real. Fun fact, if you haven't watched my About Me video yet, you need to go watch it on how I was almost on the show Beyond Scared Straight. That's what she's referring to. Yeah, fun fact right there.
I love JayTalks. I think he's doing a great thing. Kudos to you, bro.
Appreciate it.
I think he speaks truth, and he kind of just says what a lot of us are thinking. And you share some great insight, and you are wise beyond your years, my friend. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. He's like one of my closest friends, and you know, when he reached out to me about this, I had to jump on, and I think it's great. I'm in a relationship. I've been together with my boyfriend for 3 years now. Shit, that's a long time.
I wrote this topic out a couple months ago, and I just didn't know what the hell to do with it. But since it's still February, we're talking about relationships. What we're really going to be talking about today is what the hell is a relationship?
The month of love. February is the month of love.
According to her, it's the month of love. I don't know. So I have a few topics that I want to touch on. She has a few Q&As that she has received from her social media revolving around relationships. Alasia, what the hell is a relationship?
So there's relationship with yourself, right? There's friendship. There's relationship with family. And then there's relationship where you are with someone in relationship. So from the beginning, relationship with yourself. I feel like this is really important. Like,
relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
This is huge.
This is really important. Like, you have to know how to love yourself. You have to know how to be alone and be by yourself. And something that I love to say is alone does not equal lonely.
Very true.
Like, just because you're alone and you're not in a relationship with someone else or have a significant other does not mean you're lonely.
But what happens when you do become lonely? Then does that just mean you're not okay with yourself, maybe?
I kind of feel that way, yeah. Because you have to know how to be alone. Like, you have to know, like, if you are like, you know what, I want to go to Lake Eola today and go on a bike ride. Why can't you do that alone? You don't have to have someone there with you. Be okay with being by yourself. Figure out what you like. Figure out what you don't like. That way, if you do want to become in a relationship with someone else, you're able to express those wants, thoughts, feelings, likes, dislikes to the person. And if you can't describe those things to another person, how do you expect that person to give it to you?
Yo, she just hit me with a dagger from the jump, because I mean, I like doing stuff on my own. I really don't mind going to the movies by myself. I don't mind going out to eat by myself.
I'm an only child, so I grew up by myself. I like to go shopping by myself. I like to go eat by myself. I don't need to have someone there to enjoy myself.
Oh yeah, that relationship with yourself is everything first, as she just stated, and it's very true. How are you going to expect to be in a relationship with somebody else if you're not in a good relationship with yourself? So, as far as relationships with another individual, you know firsthand, most of us know firsthand that relationships are hard as hell to keep up with. How would you describe that statement? You being in a really serious relationship for the past couple of years, stuff like that.
It's hard, like you said, it's hard. And not to get it twisted or mince words, I'm in a committed, happy, loving relationship. But it is difficult. I'm gonna tell you why it's difficult. It's because when you're in a relationship with someone and you're in a serious relationship and you want also want to be the person's everything, it's no longer just about yourself.
Your spotlight.
On paper, everyone wants to be in a relationship, right? But I don't think everyone's ready for a relationship. I feel like when you're in a relationship, you're kind of enhanced a little bit, right? Like the person has unlocked a version of you that not everybody gets to see. The person that my boyfriend sees when I come home every day behind closed doors is not the person that goes out to work. Like, it's a different version of me.
Right.
A more vulnerable version of me that he has unlocked because he's earned that. You have to dig deeper, and you have to be willing and able to find a common ground. And that's what makes it so hard, especially as young people.
It's all give and take.
Yeah, I'm 25, and I feel like we're at a very selfish time in our lives, understandably so. Like, we're trying to be professionals, and we're trying to make our lives what we want them to be. And then when you add someone into that, it's a great thing, but you have to learn how to be selfless. And that's something that I feel like doesn't come second nature. I mean, first nature to people.
I don't think it comes first nature to almost anyone, especially in society now. I mean, I talk about this so much on my JayTalks because I'm passionate about the subject and topic of social media. Like, personally, I am just so scarred in so many different ways because of social media. And so when talking about relationships, I think that just pivots into what we're going to talk about next, was that, like, lowering your expectations. Not knowing your expectations as far as the type of person you want to manifest into your life.
Don't do that, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Everybody has their standards. Everybody has what they want in their head, and they're working towards that. But lowering your expectations as far as what you see on social media. When you see these Jay and Bay relationships.
Lori and Michael.
Oh, Valentine's Day was just here. Did you see that post?
I did.
That was crazy. But yeah, you see stuff like that, and you get up on your significant other like, wow, babe, look what they're doing. Wow, babe, they got this, and look what he did for her. And you're stuck comparing yourself because you have these unrealistic expectations as to where you're at in your life.
That's so true. Relationships are not what they are on social media. It's so easy for someone to give out a false narrative about themselves or their relationships on social media, and that's not what the case is. Like we just said, relationships are hard.
Yeah.
Starting a relationship is very difficult because you're taking two single individuals and you're bringing them together. Yeah. And you're like, whoa, what do you mean I can't go out to Taco Tuesday with my friends anymore every single week? What do you mean you're not okay with that? It's hard. And if you want to be in a great relationship, it takes time. It takes time to build, and it takes time to grow, and you really have to be okay with growing.
Grow through what you go through.
That's exactly like what it is, and you gotta plant the seed, and the seed's gonna grow, and it's not be a sunflower overnight, but eventually if you
water
nurture
it, and nurture it,
exactly,
and you take care of it, give it sunlight, it's gonna grow into what you manifested it to want to turn into. Kind of misworded that, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting that part out. You can't.
And that's the hard part.
That is the hard part. Nobody wants to give up their freedom anymore.
But it's not giving up freedom.
Right, but in people's minds, it's like, I was so used to doing this when I was single. I wasn't reporting to this person. I didn't have to compromise and do what they wanted to do. It was all me. And a lot of people find that, rightfully so in some cases, that very hard to do.
A couple weeks ago, I just posted on my Instagram, I was like, hey, relationships, ask me something. But I don't know, like some people like to ask people that are in relationship questions about it.
That's a good part about social media sometimes. You get to ask randoms questions and they answer you. Right. Thank you guys for your submissions, by the way.
Yeah, because I can't help you with this kind of stuff, but you should talk to somebody. How many breaks does a man need to take his relationship seriously? And how many breaks do you need to stop letting him back in your life? Because clearly if he's giving you a break every other week, he's not committed to you and not serious about your relationship. So you need to take care and you need to love yourself first, and then maybe he'll love you too. He's not breaking because something's wrong with you. He's taking a break from you because he wants to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
And then when that is over and finished,
he'll be right back.
He knows that you're going to be there. That's why he's taking a break.
No, yeah, that's all jokes aside, seriously, and this is from a guy's point of view. Guys take breaks more than girls. I've also heard a saying where, like, girls are typically, like, they know when they're completely done.
Because it takes a lot for a woman to be done. It takes a lot of straws to break the camel's back. And when a woman gets there, it's like, okay, I'm done, it's over. I
I've seen times where the guy can do everything right and the camel back still gets broken. How long are we talking? And see, it's so subjective because for me, I just think I'm too old and too mature to be taking breaks.
I don't believe in breaks.
I don't either. This is like, relationships should be serious at this point of our lives. We're in our mid-20s now. I mean, we always see stuff on social media like, don't rush your life, don't do this. But if you're sitting here asking questions about breaks and like all this good stuff, you should be mature enough in your life to know like that's not okay.
You know what happens? More often than not, we know what the answer is, but we don't want to accept it. If you have to ask how many breaks does he need, you know.
You should have been gone before you sent that.
You knew, but you know in your heart and in your mind that you're fed up with it, and you're hurt because this person is hurting you. And if someone's hurting you, you know that they're no good for you.
Facts.
But yeah, how many breaks?
You don't need none.
No breaks.
Grow up.
This person said that you guys are a perfect couple. No, we're not. Nobody's perfect. No, seriously, nobody's perfect.
They said you're a perfect couple.
Couple, yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Literally.
We have disagreements, and
You pissed me off earlier today.
you pissed me off earlier today.
See? We're sitting here trying to make a perfect JayTalk.
But here it
No, I'm
is.
kidding. Nah, but yeah.
But here it is. We piss each other off, absolutely. But something that is unwavering and never changes our love for one another. So is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But through and through, I love him, he loves me, and we never let anything else get in the way of that.
So this is what a relationship is, guys. Ain't nobody perfect, but they are a dope couple, for real.
Jay cheated on Beyonce. They're clearly not perfect. And they're still together, and I'm pretty sure there's still issues in their marriages because those things don't go away. But what did they do? They loved each other through and through, and you gotta work through it if you want to. When am I getting married?
Okay, before you even go there, that was about to be my question. Not besides when are you getting married, what if he decided to propose to you next week? Are you gonna tell him to get the hell up and...
No, I would say yes.
You would say yes?
Now, when we get married, that's up for discussion, right? And that's like, no, seriously, because you're engaged does not mean you have to get married tomorrow or in a year from now. Personally, I'm not the kind of person to be engaged for 2 and 3 years. That's really not the way I see my life going. But yeah, if that's how it goes now. Also, I'm not going to be in a relationship that's been 6-7 years and I still don't got a ring on my finger. What it is just, again, if you've been with a person for a prolonged amount of time, if you can't see yourself with this person forever, what are you doing? What are you doing? Should we normalize getting STD testing randomly while in a relationship? Is that mistrust?
If you need to randomly get STD tested in a relationship, you more than likely do not need to be in that relationship or a relationship.
If maybe not you. You don't need to be in a relationship with that person.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because if you need to get randomly STD checked, that's dirty.
It
doesn't even sound good coming out of my mouth.
That's dirty.
Like that sounds horrible.
I'm an advocate for when you start dating someone, you both should go get tested together. I firmly believe in that because there's a lot of things out here that I believe in that. But I believe in the beginning, absolutely. But like you said, if you feel the need to randomly get tested with other people, I mean, that means that you don't trust that person because you think that there's a potential that they're sleeping around. If you trust the person that you're with, then...
Yeah. I think that because somebody's going to come on and say, oh, well, I'm just trying to protect myself or something like that. I see it, but I disagree. Like, for the points that you guys mentioned, if you feel like you need to test your significant other, clearly you don't trust them. And in my opinion, any good relationship, one of the key foundations, one of the key pillars has to be trust.
We still have a pandemic going on. What do you have to say to couples who are in a serious relationship who are struggling through these times?
It's rough out here.
It is.
First of all, quarantine was hard because there's a lot of stressors affecting relationships, right? Start with dating first. If you're dating right now, all I can really say, in my opinion, is to just
don't date. don't actually make it a real thing.
No.
I could agree with you.
I say don't date. I say use this time to get to know yourself and get to know you and get to know what you want. That's what I think this time should be used for, is self-betterment. If that's a word.
Yeah, self-betterment.
Yeah.
I
think it should be used for self-betterment.
So I guess that kind of ties in with if you're single. So if you're single, don't like try to mess around and date. Get to know yourself first. How we started this talk.
But sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go on, not now, but go on dates. Go on dates. You need to know what you like and what you don't like in people to know who you want. Figure out what you like about people, what you don't like about people. Do you like when someone pulls out a chair for you, or you're like, that's too much? Do you like when someone orders for you? Do people still do that? Or do you want to order your own food because you're a strong, independent woman, you don't need no man? Like, figure out what you like.
And honestly, this sounds quirky too, but I just thought about this. I do a lot of research before I create JayTalk, so I'm not just feeding you all bullshit. So if you are a single person, read some books about relationships. There's some really good books out there. Read some articles, listen to podcasts, do something else that is going to progress your agenda and help you manifest and attract that person who may be right for you, whether it be during the pandemic or after, when things kind of go back to
and
normal.
let it come. Let it come naturally. You can set expectations, but just be yourself and you'll find your person. That's it.
It'll come to you guys. That's a wrap for relationships. What the F is that? Part 1. Couple bombs in here being dropped. Alasia, thank you so much for sticking around for this JayTalk collab once again.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Because I was like, I got some stuff to say.
And she still has more stuff to say. Trust me, she's not
I will
done.
never not have anything
Part
to say.
2 coming soon. Gonna be way more, a bit more structured. We're gonna do a Q&A again with a few more topics and subheadings that we want to speak on as well. Ask us, submit them into our Instagrams. We will be making polls about it.
Yep.
All right, people, checking out. Thankful for you. I love you guys. I'm thankful for every single one of you, and I'll be talking to you soon. Peace.
Bye.